Mr. Farage, why are you here?
I'm here because I was invited to be here. I'm here because Vice President J.D. Vance, as you know, a few months ago, outlined what he felt were some concerns about free speech in the United Kingdom and the possible knock-on effects they had for relationships with America, for trade with America. Let's remember that the internet has changed our lives in some very good ways, but equally in some bad ones too. All of us want to see, if possible, a way of protecting young people from extreme and dangerous content. But the way the British government has gone about this, frankly, is a sledgehammer to miss the nut. And we finished up with a situation where a foreigner, somebody with an Irish passport, coming into Heathrow Airport is arrested by 5 armed police. And that could be an American executive. So whichever way you look at this is huge overreach. It isn't just me saying this needs to be sorted out. Sir Mark Rowley, the boss of the Metropolitan Police, is today calling for the same thing.
But you seem to be suggesting today that America should use sort of trade sanctions
No,
against
I have not suggested that for one moment. That is the interpretation of a Prime Minister who is very much on the back foot over this.
But you have suggested that Trump should perhaps sanction countries.
I have not used that word in any way at all. Sorry.
So what have you said?
I've said that I hope that American political parties, leaders and businesses have a frank conversation with the British government and say, if you don't sort this out, it's going to have serious trade implications for both of us.
Is there a massive hypocrisy going on here? Because, I live in America. I have seen over the course of the past few months free speech being eroded here, people having their social media checked as they come into the country. Sounds pretty similar to what you're accusing Britain of.
Even more reason for me to be here, to say, look, we've gone way down this path, be vigilant in this country.
So you do think Trump might have gone a bit far?
I'm not saying Trump's gone a bit far. I'm here to talk about what's happening in the United Kingdom. It's bad for relations between our countries, it's bad for trade between our countries, and there are warnings that America ought to heed.
And a quick word on immigration, because you're calling for mass deportations, correct?
Yes.
We're seeing what that looks like here. I've spent the past week in Washington, D.C., where there are people in unmarked vehicles driving around, snatching people who have brown skin off the streets. It is causing massive concerns across this city.
Well, you've seen our plans, haven't you? You've seen our plans. We say to people who are in the UK illegally, look, we want to do this nicely. You shouldn't be here. You know you shouldn't be here. We'll give you time to get yourself sorted out. We'll take you back to where you're from. We'll even give you £2,500 to go and get set up when you get to the other side. And I think a lot of people will respond to that if they believe by not doing so, they will physically be deported.
And lastly,
so I think, frankly, what we put forward is a very sensible way of doing it. And of course, there's criticism of the way it's happening in America, but have a look at the border crossings. Have a look at the massive reduction of people illegally coming into America.
And lastly, can you clarify what you were talking about the other day where you appeared to completely contradict yourself on women and children?
No. There are two cross purposes entirely.
So clarify it.
People coming into the country by boat illegally would be deported, including women, of course.
And children.
When it comes...
it's important.
Provided we can find safe places to go and safe places for them to be with.
Well, is Afghanistan a safe place for them to go?
Well, you can't send a 6-year-old child anywhere on their own, can you? All right? The numbers... just get this straight. The numbers of children, very, very small. All right? When it comes to going through the backlog, of hundreds of thousands of people who are not in our country legally, our priority is to remove young, undocumented males. That is our priority. Women will be second on that list, not first. Two plain different things.
Well, Mark Stone joins us now. Really interesting exchange there, Mark. Nigel Farage testifying in front of the House Judiciary Committee in the next hour or so. He's out there talking about police overreaching and free speech and migration, as you just heard. Back here in the UK, the Prime Minister in Parliament has called them unpatriotic and a disgrace.
Yes, because their view is what he has suggested is that somehow Trump should sanction the UK for its strict social media policing, as Farage would see it. And so what I think the Labour Party is seizing upon is saying, well, how unbelievably unpatriotic you are, Mr. Farage, by somehow penalising the British worker by suggesting that Trump should threaten tariffs or sanctions on the UK if it doesn't align to what Farage thinks social media laws should be and free speech laws should be. Now, as you heard, Nigel Farage claims he is saying nothing of the sort. He is simply wanting to warn other countries that they should be aware of the path that he believes Britain is going down, and and he has been given a gift, hasn't he, with the emergence of the news of the arrest of Graham Linehan, the co-writer of the Father Ted series, who was arrested at Heathrow Airport, arriving into the UK for posts that he made on social media. So the Lucy Connolly story that we're all familiar with, and the fact that she was jailed for her posts on social media, that was kind of a calling card for Nigel Farage. She's a kind of poster girl that he was able to use, and now he has been given this new case as well. The committee on the judiciary is taking place now behind that door, and on the face of it, to look at how they are describing it, the hearing will examine European threats to American free speech and innovation. It will highlight how European online censorship laws, specifically the UK Online Safety Act and the European Union's Digital Services Act, threaten Americans' right to speak freely online in the United States. So clearly for Nigel Farage, this is something he wanted to be at. He wanted his voice to be heard here. And his schedule's busy. He's got his party conference coming up over the next few days. But he needed, in his view, to make time to be here today.
OK, Mark, thank you very much.